Folks, back on the Bossman show, from the show, Coach Greg Gary, Mercer Barry, SoCon, 18-11 on the year. Coach Gary, good to talk to you again. How's down the road and making there, man?
Oh, everything's good. Everything's real good. Appreciate you having me on.
Coach, I'm proud of your team, man. I was telling Craig off the air, man. I was so proud of what you guys did, make the run you made in the SoCon tournament, win 3 games, fighting against UNC Greensboro the way you did, a tough team. But just talk about your guys, how they fought hard there in that tournament, man, and showed really what the Bears are about going forward, man.
Yeah, I thought it was progress. I really was. I thought we, had some good progress last year, and then this year to be able to be in the championship game is a good sign. And what was I was really proud of them. I mean, to play 4 games in 4 days and have a chance, going down the wire was big. And I think the great thing about it, I don't know if it's great, but it's a good sign. When I went in that locker room after the UNCG game, I could feel their disappointment without having to say anything. And just I could see it on their faces where, we're that close, and there was a lot of disappointment, which is it's good to see. It means they care.
And Coach, your team is pretty much back next year. You have a redshirt senior on your roster, so pretty much you may have some of these guys for an extra year beyond because of the rule here. So your roster is pretty much intact for the most part, and then you can grow and develop really the way you want to because those guys are young. You may have them an extra year as well to keep that train going for you guys.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I really am. That's something everybody's going to be in that boat. But I feel pretty secure in pretty much everybody coming back. So that again is because of the way we ended and the way it hurt us. I think that's going to carry over to the off season, summer, getting in the weight room, just having that extra little motivation there should be big for us.
And playing a team like Wes Miller's team is a tough team. That they've been winning your conference all kind of ways all these years, man, playing really well. See your guys, young as they are, compete the way they did against them. Played them earlier this year and still competed and gotten better. Because sometimes, yes, it's winning losses, but guess what? You saw progress from when you played them earlier in the year. So you played them in a championship game, only 4th day in a row playing. So that showed your guys' heart what it was about. Because a lot of guys will tap out and say, my legs are done, but they still competed hard. Had a chance to win that game actually.
Yeah, no, they did, and that was one thing we really didn't talk about. You don't have time to talk about it. It's a mindset, and you're in the championship game, so you don't have time to be tired, because you're ultimately going to play in the NCAA tournament, which is our goal here. So I do think our teams, our guys get better as we continue throughout the year. Which again, that's what you want. You want playing your best basketball in March. That's what it's about. So. For our guys to be able to, it was a very odd and a hard season in a lot of regards. So for them to be able to keep their attitude and keep their togetherness, it says a lot about them as individuals.
And Coach, what was also great about your championship, I was watching it from afar, was that you guys played a lot of close games as well. So you don't learn to win close games by playing in close games, right? You dealing with that live pressure. You can put time on the clock in practice and do it in practice, but guess what? See, actually playing against that other team in other jersey in a real situation like that, you don't really learn it the way you learn it the right way where you would in practice. So talk about that, Coach, how you guys play those close game games and that adversity that the other guys learn it and get that callous to win when it's tough.
Yeah, that's something that good teams, you find a way to win those, and you hit it on the nose. You got to experience it. You got to go through it, and that's something our guys did do. They won in different ways, getting up big, losing the lead, then figuring out a way to win, down big, then figuring out a way to come back and win. So we learned how to win in different ways, which good teams that you learn how to do that. Some of it's luck. You need a little luck, but I think luck is also in your preparation and your attitude and your poise and your togetherness. I think if you have all those things, I think you become luckier.
And I think also for you two coaches, when you beat Wofford in that tight game, again, another tight game, it's like your guys came out against VMI, just played like, hey, we got that close on late. We get a little bit looser in my mind because VMI. So to get ready. So I like that third day that I was like, wow, they beat them. They got over Wofford, a tough team in the league. But guess what? Came back next day a little bit more relaxed. And did you just feel that from your guys as you coached that game, seeing your guys a little bit more looser than it was against Wofford the previous day?
Yeah, I think so. I think I do think that Wofford's defense a little bit more aggressive. Try to speed you up a little bit. VMI just played the night before and beat Furman. That was a big win for them. So I think they were a little bit slower, a little bit sluggish from that. But our guys did a really good job of, I think just feeling like, hey, we got to get this one done. We're gonna be in the championship game.
Most definitely, and I just feel like coaches like you did, like you said, man, those young guys seeing that what they did this time around, I think it's gonna be your best thing you can ever do as a foundational piece, as you said, for spring, summer, fall, getting ready, and hopefully with things getting better in our country with those vaccines and the virus, they can actually be in making with you guys more than usual, so you can actually get on court development, skill development, get them bigger with you all there, not doing it on their own at home that they did last year.
Yeah, it's a huge difference, and you know that. I mean, it's being able to have them here with our coach, strength conditioning coach. Making sure they're getting the meals they need to, making sure they're getting the supplement, the extra work. It's going to be a big, big off season, and we had to get used. Like Mercer's not been in the SoCon, especially the tournament situation. That's something they've never done before. So to be able to come together and learn how to get there and to fall short a little bit to get that's a sick feeling. There's not I mean, and that to me, I think is going to resonate and sit in them for a while, which it's still sitting in me. It's still sitting in our staff. So to be that close and not finish it, that's something that's got to be motivation.
Oh yes, and I think what you can say is that in the weirdest year we're ever gonna probably have ever, 18-11, and being in a mid-major conference where you are, having that big of a gap between wins and losses means something, because when you in your conference you gotta go play bye games and play different high-level competition. The fact that you got 18 wins, knowing what you had to go through, knowing your league, you got to feel good about that as you continue to build your culture here at Mercer from here on out.
Yeah, it's good. I wanted we coaches aren't happy. I wanted we should have won a few more. And
Oh yeah.
our guys would admit that too. Some games we didn't have it, and those are the ones you got to find a way to win. So there's always room for growth. But I feel good about this year, especially the way we ended it. To have 18 wins and continue to progress and continue. I think we made strides from last year.
Most definitely. And coach, you're the confidence year, man. I feel like once again, as well, I talk about this every year, but I'm just being real about SoCon basketball is hard and no easy nights. And this year no different because, like you're saying, playing with the back-to-back schedules being changed, playing not know who you're playing week to week. The fact that up and down the league, the games were tight, not too many blowouts. And let's talk about how the depth of your league and how the talent pool is getting better and better in your conference. And that people need to realize that SoCon has a lot of great coaching, a lot of great players, a lot of great talent. They will be playing whether or not the NBA internationally as well.
Yeah, that's it's evident in the rankings of our conference. The RPI, latest, the last RPI, our conference was ranked the ninth best conference in the country, where I think there's 30 plus conferences. So I think that really says a lot about our coaches and our teams and in our league. That's why I was attracted to this job in the first place, because I thought the league is very, very good, great basketball league. Yeah, it's we got good coaches, good players, and it's been shown well, and we keep moving up that ladder. We'll hopefully get to a point where they're not just taking the conference tournament winner. They're getting in that. We're getting in that large bid. So that's our goal, and hopefully we can keep doing that.
Coach Gary, thank you for your time as always, buddy. I know I'm a big fan of your team. I cheer for you guys all the time, man. So I always get cheer for a Georgia team. So I'm happy to see you do well, and I'll be also banging the drum for you and cheering for you from here on out, buddy, as you already know.
I appreciate it, JR. Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
Anytime, buddy. Be safe now. Talk to you real soon, buddy.
Thank you. You too. See you.
All right.